Hello, traders. So I've had a couple people ask me how things are going with my Option Alpha bots. And first of all, let me say that because of some other things, building out the deep dive calendar and diagonals course and working on some other things, I haven't paid a lot of attention to my bots and to the Option Alpha platform. As many of you know, I worked for Kirk and Option Alpha for a couple of years, helping bring traders up to speed on the new platform. I do like the platform. I've got a link down below if you want a free trial of it. Big fan of Kirk and company. That said, the one thing the platform couldn't do in the past, and it still can't do right now, although they're working on it, is trade SPX. And I'm a big fan of SPX. That's my largest trading vehicle. So consequently, I haven't spent as much time looking at the bot platform. All that said, I do have some bots that are running. Two of them are fully automated, well, three of them actually are fully automated bots that are running live. And that is this particular bot, which is a 0 DTE bot. It's trading predominantly 0 and 1 day to expiration butterflies in this case. Then I have my hand crank trading bot, which I'll circle back to in a minute. And then I'm trading this bot, which is a variation of what's called a super bull. This one trades fairly slowly. It only trades about every 30 days. And it puts on a bullish position since the SPY, all of these are trading SPY, by the way, since the SPY is predominantly, upward trend. So this builds off of that and opens up trades in SPY. But again, longer term trades. This is trading a very small amount as well. This one is one that was written by one of my coworkers at Option Alpha at the time, Randy. And, it hasn't really done much, good or bad. I may end up pulling the plug on that one or getting in there and tinkering with it, maybe rewriting it a little bit. And then there's these two bots that are hand crank trading bots. Now, these are exactly the same. And for clarification, these two aren't really bots. They're simply a holding place where I go in and I manually open up positions. And after I manually open those positions, the bot simply manages them. I'm actually going to do that later on in this video. I'm going to go and I'm going to reload one of these. And also for clarification, this one here is not working anymore. I'm not using it. This is the hand crank trading bot that had been accessing my TDA account. TDA, of course, you pay commissions. I ended up taking Option Alpha up on the offer to set up an account at Tradier where I get free, commission-free trading. And so I started then trading my hand crank selections at Tradier instead. Obviously, I have not done a very good job of picking those positions as I did up here. What I want to do right now is let's just take a quick look into the P&Ls of each of these. I'll start with this Majestic Monarch. This thing has been trading almost, 3/4 of a year here. Again, this is live trading, and it's kind of chopped all over the place. So when I look at this, I look at this and I say, there's nothing super compelling here that leads me to want to maybe continue with this bot. These are the two positions that it has opened right at this time. So again, probably not something I'm maybe going to continue on this one. Now, let me just come back. Now, these are all bots, just for clarification. Many of these are paper trading. I'll circle back to those in a moment too. Let me just filter down to the live trading bots. So we looked at the Majestic Monarch. Then I look at the Super Bull bot, okay? Now, this bot has been trading since September 6, 2022, so over a year. It's had a 43% return. Notice it went through a pretty sizable drawdown here. Well, that's when our market was moving down for a significant period of time. This is a bullish bot. It's only natural that it's not going to do well when the market is kind of in a bearish mode. And then, of course, since our Fed announcement here a couple months ago in October, and the market has just ripped to the upside, this thing is recovering. So this would be a bot that if I held an opinion that we're going to largely have a neutral market to an uptrending market, this is a bot that I would want to probably trade. And these are the two positions that are open in there right now. Again, this bot does not trade very often. You can see it's like one trade a month in this particular case. And those months that our markets was down, it did not do well. Well, it's a bullish bot. I've got to expect that. That's kind of the way this goes. If I want to take a look at these positions, I can kind of see the positions these are in right now. So that's this particular one here. And then this one expires in January. So actually, this one, although I don't interfere with my bots, generally speaking, I haven't even looked at them. I let them run. As a system trader, you have to kind of let your system do its thing. If your system isn't going to do its thing, then, or if you're going to interrupt it all the time from doing its thing, then why have a system? All that said, I'm looking at this right this very moment, and I can see the maximum profit is 702. I'm at 690. You know what? I might as well close that position right now. This thing technically doesn't expire, let's see, until January 19th. But if I'm already at max profit on this, well, I can see maybe I'm not. Prices bouncing around all over here. So bid-ask spreads are wide at that point, I guess is what it boils down to. Let's just see what this looks like. Yeah, see how wide that bid-ask spread is there. So that's kind of crazy. So this is not really going to close at that full profit. So there's no sense in me doing anything on this right now. I will leave this set after all. So that is that Super Bull bot. Let's just come back here, go to live bots again, and then we'll take a look at the Sell the Vol Super Bot. And I should say that anybody that signs up for Option Alpha, these bots are all written and shared by other members of the community. This one was shared by a gentleman by the name of Lil Y. That's how he's known in the community. He's kind of the zero DTE, in my opinion, bot guru in that world. And you can see this thing goes through a lot of positions, and we can see that it's not trading in many cases for big wins. And when our market is kind of chopping sideways, this is predominantly trading butterflies. When our market is chopping sideways, a butterfly is going to do really well. However, when we have a period of big moves like we had around the Fed announcement, this thing will get clobbered. I need to know that. That is the characteristic of a neutral, a delta neutral trading bot. It's going to do well when our market chops sideways. It's going to get hammered if there are big moves in the market. And again, I just need to understand that. If I come and look at the dashboard, I can see that's exactly what happened. I mean, this thing just kind of grinds along, making new highs here. And then right here when we had a Fed announcement and the market moved massively to the upside, this thing got hammered. After the market kind of consolidated and started to chop sideways a little bit again, this thing starts making money. So I can look at this bot and I understand what it's doing, why it's doing it, how it's doing it. I understand its strengths and its weaknesses. Its strength is that it does well in a sideways market. Its weakness is it gets hammered in a big trending market up or down. That said, I know that our market goes generally sideways with a little bit of up tilt to it over long periods of time. So I'm okay with this. I need to understand there are going to be periods of drawdown. And so long as I recognize that, and when this bot puts together a string of losing trades, if that string of losing trades makes sense to me, it's like, well, yeah, of course it's not going to make money in this, hard driving up market or hard driving down market. Then I have to be okay with that character. Now, if you are a gifted strategist, for lack of a better term, you can come in here and you can try to maybe modify this bot. You can clone this bot, modify it, try to put in some filters and things like that that might do some detection on, trending, non-trending, etc. I should say that this is version 29 of this particular bot. And if we come in the Option Alpha platform, I can come in and I can look at top strategies, not top strategies, bots. I come into the bots. These are all of the different bots that are out there in my account. I wanted to share this with you. And these bots are paper trading. So these bots here are not live trading. You can see that this is that same bot. This is the one that I took live. And I took it live, I don't know, somewhere back in here, and it's followed a very similar path to what the paper one has followed, which is what I would expect. So, again, over time, it's done well. This thing is generated since I started this paper bot. Let's see, that would be, I don't know, how much time is that? February 2020. So this thing's not quite 2 years in the making, but it's hitting 196% return. So again, nice. Keep in mind, though, if you're trading this in an account that charges you $1 commission per trade, that is not factored into here. And because this trades so often, that will eat heavily into this number. So I would only recommend considering something like this in a situation like Option Alpha offers with Tradier, where you're zero commissions, so that you don't have all of those fees going in and out. But again, this is how this bot has traded in paper since I started it back in February of 2022. So the bot is acting the way I would expect it to in trading live. That's kind of my purpose for running these in paper at the same time that I'm running them live. So, and here's the live version of it. Again, has not been trading nearly as long, but that's where I'm at on that. And at some point, I might size this up just a little bit as well. Right now, I'm perfectly happy trading it in the size it's trading in and letting it do its thing. Now, I talked a moment ago about bots and how a user that comes in, how they can look at these things. So if you come in as a new trader, again, you can use the link down below for a free trial. You can come in and you can look over here at Top Bot Templates. This is going to show you all the different bots that these are trading plans that different traders have developed and shared. Now, they build them however they want. They name them however they want. These are not blessed, if you will, by Option Alpha or anyone else. This is a bunch of gifted traders sharing their concepts and ideas for trading. And if I look at one of these, again, this one right here, the Sell the Bot or the Sell the Vol Super Bot, this is a version of the one that I am trading. I can come in here, and here's the explanation that this trader put together, Leo Y, about how this bot is designed to trade. Okay, so he puts all of his, for lack of a better term, rules in here. So this is all the different information about this bot. We can see version 3 was on February 8th of 2023. Well, these guys are up to version 25 on this right now. So again, lots of changes have taken place. And I can come in here, and if I like this bot, if this looks of interest to me, I simply hit the clone button, and it will drop this same trading methodology, the same set of rules into my Option Alpha account, trading in paper, and then I can watch how this thing acts. I can see what it does. And if I'm comfortable with it, I will want to watch this thing trade for an extended period of time before I were to ever take it live. I need to understand what it's doing, how it's doing it, why it's doing it. Maybe I want to come in and modify it or change it a little bit to fit my certain risk-reward criteria. And again, I can do this with any bots that I want. So I can come back here and let's take a look at some of the other bots. Well, here's somebody else that has a 0DTE bot. So I can take a look at this one. I can see the write-up on this one. Same thing here. If I like this bot, I simply hit clone, and I can set the parameters to this bot, whatever variables that I want to use. These are things that the trader has built into this bot themselves, and I can set this up however I want, and then I hit clone, and this thing is going to start trading in paper. It is not connected to any account. And Option Alpha automatically has paper accounts included with the subscription. So you've got data feeding into this, and it's going to show that it's firing off trades and filling those trades. And then if I come back again to bots, I'll look at just paper bots here. I can come in and look at these paper bots, and I can see every trade this thing is making, how it's making it, why it's making it, what it's doing. These are the current open positions in this trade. These are all the closed positions in this trade. So it gives me a sense of exactly what's happening, again, in paper, so that I can look at this, and before I ever take something live, I can have a comfort level of exactly what it's doing, how it's doing it, why it's doing it, and make sure that I'm good with that. But I need to trade this in paper. I like to do, at least 100 trades. 100 trades is a very small statistical sample. I'd actually like to have more than that. But some of these things that trade slower, like my bot that only trades, once a month, well, I'm not going to wait for hundreds of trades in that. However, that particular trading method is a trading method that I've traded manually for many, many years, so I know exactly how it moves and works. I was just able to program it into a bot now. So, final thing I said I was going to do, let me come back to my live bots, and I said I was going to come in and reload some trades here into this hand crank trading bot. Again, I have not obviously done well since I started selecting some newer trades in this bot. And again, the only difference between these two hand crank bots is this one is set up in Tradier now so that I don't have to pay commissions. So how do I put positions in here? Well, this is a cool thing that Option Alpha added. I can come in and I can look at trading ideas. This trading ideas shows me all sorts of different trades that I might want to consider out there, okay? It basically is going out and it's ranking a whole series of trades into, different, I can sort by probability of profit in a trade. I can sort by something they call alpha, which is a really good calculation that I like. It basically is looking at the expected value divided by the max loss. So kind of a risk-reward ratio, if you will. So again, I can come in and look at any sorts of trades I like here. I look at something like this that has a max loss of $31, a max profit of $69. Maybe that's a trade that I want to consider here. So I click on that, and it kind of shows me what that trade looks like. This one, let's see, this is a short put spread on this. And if I want to see how the market is moving, I can see what the market looks like here in EEM. Yeah, I don't know that I'm a fan of that. I'm going to pause here and pull up a different sort, and then I'll show you what I find in that. Okay, so what I did here is I tend to like to trade a little more neutral, delta neutral, which is predominantly going to be condors, butterflies, things like that. I personally already have some trades open in EWZ. They're not doing great, so I really don't want to open anything new in EWZ. But let me look at something here like FXI maybe. Excuse me. So I look at FXI. It's trading at 23 and right about almost 24. And this is a dollar wide short put spread. This is a dollar wide short call spread. And this basically turns this into an iron condor. It has a maximum profit of $65, maximum loss of $35, moderately tight bid-ask spread, and this expires in 4 days. So if I'm interested in doing this trade, I tend to do my trades in a little more size. Now, I have to keep in mind here, we're currently trading at 23.80. So that means that I really am going to need the price of FXI to get up a little bit. But the other thing I can do here, which is actually what I'm going to look at in this trade, this is set up to trade an iron condor. What if I brought this short call down to meet the short put, essentially turning this into an iron butterfly? So now I'm an iron butterfly with $1 wide wings. I'm going to get paid 74 cents to enter this trade. That means I've got $74 in profit. I've got $26 in risk. I like that. I'm good with that. I'm going to take this up to 5 contracts. Now means I've got 130 in risk, 370 in max profit. My probability of max profit is very low because this is a butterfly. My probability of max loss is at 12%. So it's got a nice, good, what I call alpha number. Again, you can see the calculations on that. It's got a good expected value. If I were to make this trade thousands and thousands of times, it has an expected value, if you average all those out, of $26. That's a good, a good number. How do I want to get into this? Well, I'm going to use the smart pricing. I can set it up to go normal, fast, or patient. I'm usually patient on my entries. I'll go ahead and let my order sit out there a little bit longer period of time. Now we've got our final price. What am I willing to accept in credit to get into this trade? Well, I don't want to accept as little as 70. The mid is 75, okay? So basically, I'm like, you know what, I'm okay if I can get into this for 74 cents or 73 cents, I'm okay, but I'm not going to accept as little as 70 cents. Then I have to decide, where do I want this thing to be held? Where do I want it to be traded? This is where I'm going to select my hand crank bot for Tradier. I want to trade this personally in my Tradier account because I don't have commissions there. And then I'm going to establish exit options. Now, I can put in all kinds of different criteria that Option Alpha will monitor on a 1 minute by 1 minute basis to see if my criteria is met. I can put in a stop. I can put in a stop loss. I can put in, close a certain amount before expiration, close if earnings are coming up. A lot of different things that I can build into this from a closing standpoint. I've already predefined what I like. For butterflies, I generally use a 35% target, and there's no magic to this. This is just my own personal number that I ended up choosing. 35% target. Once I hit my 35% target, if my P&L drops by 6% after hitting that target, it's going to take me out. Otherwise, it's just going to sit there, and hopefully it'll sit right in the center of that tent, and it will just continue to climb and climb in value, maybe end up much, much higher return than 35%. Now, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to hit place trade, and I'm not going to necessarily keep this whole thing live because it can take some time to do. But particularly because I chose patient is really the only reason why it takes time. I selected patient on here, and so it's going to take a period of time to go through each of these cycles. So it's going to try 74 cents. If it doesn't get 74 cents, after I believe it's about 60 seconds or 90 seconds, then it's going to drop down to 73. It's going to see if it can get me 73 cents. So I'm just going to pause for right now and see if I get a fill. Okay, so it spent some time at 74, didn't get a fill. It's now spent a little time at 73, did not get a fill. So I can do one of two things. I can either just say, I'm not going to worry about this trade, or I can cancel this order, cancel this position, and I can retry my position maybe establishing a little bit of a new parameter. So maybe I'll say, you know what, yeah, okay, it's 78 cents. Maybe I'm willing to accept a little bit less. Maybe I'll go all the way down to 73 cents. For the sake of just getting into this trade and you watching it, I'm going to actually go fast. It's going to march through, actually I'll use normal, 4 prices at 10 seconds each. So we'll just see how this plays out. I suspect this should get me a fill. So it's going to start at 77 cents and say, you know, hey, will anybody pay 77 cents for this trade? Be awesome if somebody did, but that's above the mid, so I don't expect that to happen. So we'll watch this. It's going to march. Now it's 76 cents. Then it's going to go to 75, then to 73, and hopefully I'll get a fill by the time it gets to 73. Okay, so I'm all the way down to 73 and still not getting a fill here. So that's a bit frustrating. So now as a trader, I have to make a decision. Am I willing to accept less for this butterfly? That's going to change my risk reward a little bit. So just for the sake of argument here, let's say I am willing to accept less. I'm just going to leave it here. I'm just going to let it go at its 71 cents. I'm going to say fast this time so that we can hopefully get a fill. And then I'll go ahead and, this is an ETF that has a moderately wide bid-ask spread. So, I may have to give up a little bit to get into this trade. Okay, there, I did get filled. So I am now in this trade. I got filled at 71 cents. Now, it's a bit frustrating when I look at the mid at 77. I got filled at 71. But anyhow, this is the P&L diagram of my trade at this point. That's what it looks like. And so if I close this, I can come back to my bot now, and I go to that specific bot, which is my hand crank trading bot, and I go to my positions. I can now see that FXI position right here in my bot. And of course, it's showing a little bit of a loss right now because I gave up a lot on that bid-ask spread to get into the trade. But now I don't have to look at this thing. It expires in 4 days. Option Alpha bot platform is going to look at this position every 1 minute, and it's going to be looking to see, has it hit its profit target of 35%? If it has, then it's going to start looking to see if the trailing stop kicks in. And if the trailing stop kicks in, it's going to close the position for me. Now, I am willing to take a total loss on this trade. You notice that my trailing stop for the way I set this up only kicks in if I've hit a profit target. So now you can set it up differently. If somebody else wanted to trade differently and they said, anytime I hit a 10% profit, just close the position, you can do that. Or if you want to say, hey, if this thing goes down by 10% in value, take me out. That's going to be my stop. I want to get out there. Okay. Now, something that has a little wider bid-ask spread, you have to be a little careful on that. So the way I trade something that has a wider bid-ask spread, I get into it willing to accept the maximum loss. I trade it in a size that I'm okay with the maximum loss. Then I don't need to worry about getting a bad fill on an exit. I either get out when it hits its profit target, or I'm not getting out. I'm riding it till it dies. So hopefully that gives everybody just kind of a quick look back, because I told people I would do this on the bot platform. I do want to get more dialed in with this next year. I'm going to be kind of going in and expanding this particular bot. Maybe right now it only trades SPY, maybe starting to trade the Qs with it, etc. This one I'm probably not going to mess with. It's doing its thing. It's doing it well. And I'll continue to try to find ways of selecting better personal trades. Again, the bot is not selecting the trades here. I am selecting the trades by going into trade ideas and selecting things that I like the looks of, the risk-reward looks of, and then dropping them into that bot. So hopefully this gives everybody a look. Again, if you like this sort of content, please like, subscribe, give me a thumbs up below, let me know, and I'll produce more of it. Take care.